Another 10 or 15 minutes, guys. Unfortunately, the route has been difficult for some people to get through. So bear with us 10 or 15 minutes, then we'll get underway with our speeches. And thank you again for turning up. Appreciate it.
got to tell you, you are a sight for sore eyes. Honestly, well done, all of you. And I also got to say, you know why we're here? Apart from the messages. That too. Apart from the messages, it's because it is about time our government put Australia first. And we are going to keep speaking out loud until they do. This is not a request. It is not something we're begging for. It is a demand. Australia first. Let me hear it. Australia first. Australia first. Australia first. Woo! Guys, I'm going to hand over in a minute to a lovely lady. Her name's V. She's going to be singing the national anthem, so get your vocal cords ready. Just before I do though, just to let you know, we will have speeches here that will go for roughly 40 minutes. And then after that we will be marching. And we're going to march and we're going to fly those flags and they're going to be held up strong and proud because we are not having our government make us feel ashamed for being Australia and for being proud of our flag. Thank you, everyone. And now for the national anthem, I'm handing over to V.
All right, let me see you lift those flags from the front to the back. And can we all stand together, united, while we sing together? Australians, oh, let us rejoice, for we are young and free, with golden souls and willful toils. Our home is good by sea, our land abounds in nature's gifts of beauty, rich and rare. In history's page, let every stage advance Australia fair. In joyful strains, and let us sing, advance Australia fair. God bless you, Melbourne.
Thank you, V. Thank you, Victoria. So proud of you all, honestly.
Aussie, Aussie, Aussie!
Oi, oi, oi!
Aussie, Aussie, Aussie!
Well done. Okay, I'm now going to hand over to Matt from National Workers Alliance, a wonderful man with a lot of knowledge, who's done a lot of work in helping people to realise what is going on. Matt, thank you very much.
Thank you, Judy. How's the sound? Can you hear me at the back? Thank you, Judy. Thank you, Veronica, for the anthem. I want to thank everybody for turning up today. In particular, I want to thank the women, the families, the children I see here. It takes a lot of courage to attend an event like this in the current political climate, especially in Victoria. You can see the pushback we face from the left. For all of us who are here today, it is our responsibility to educate and motivate those who are not yet quite ready to understand the enormity of what we are facing as a nation and as a people. And they are not ready to address it because they are either distracted by the sports, the entertainment, the material things of our disillusion. I speak to many people who believe that there is nothing they can do, they feel powerless, and that it's over. And my message to those who are demoralised is that it's never over. Because while our hearts still beat, while our hearts still pump the same blood as the men and women who built this nation and our ancestral homelands, it is never over. Do not be demoralised, even with the numbers today. Obviously the 31st we had tens of thousands. Today, do not be demoralised. It's always going to be a little more difficult in the current political climate. This is still a beautiful country. This is the greatest time to be alive. This is a beautiful life. And yes, we have a struggle, but it's a beautiful struggle. And we will win. My name is Matt Troy, and I represent the National Workers Alliance, who are the organisers of today's event, the Second March for Australia. I'm just a tradesman who's had enough. I've had enough of watching what I regard as an illegitimate government destroy the country that I love for what seems my whole life. I've had enough of these parasites who sit in this building behind us, destroying this country. The National Workers Alliance is a nationalist organisation. We proudly advocate for the people of European descent, in the same way that every other ethnic group, racial group should and does advocate for themselves. We are advocating for our people. If you are of European descent, you are the descendants of the greatest navigators, explorers and nation builders in history. Be proud of who you are, be proud of where you come from. For those of you who are distracted by Anthem, would you please make your way back to the front of Parliament? Do not be distracted. Please come back to Parliament. I want to be very clear on what today is about. And the national organisers were consistent with their message. There are 3 items on the flyer: stop mass immigration, protect our culture and heritage, and no foreign flags. I will address these 3 issues, and then I'm going to finish with what I believe is a solution, because today is about solutions. I'm going to start with the flags. Why do we only stand with these 3 flags? On the 3rd of September 1901, Australia's first Prime Minister, Edmund Barton, announced the winners of the national flag competition. There were 2 winners. There was the red flag, or the red ensign, for the merchant fleet. There was the blue flag, or the blue ensign, for naval and official purposes. The general public started carrying both of these flags as land flags. In 1908, there was the 7th point added to the Commonwealth Star, which sits under the Union flag. Australia has been sending its young men and women off to war since 1901 and the colonies prior, since 1860, First Taranaki War. Our first casualties were in the Sudan in 1885. 9 young men from the New South Wales infantry contingent never returned home. Our best and bravest lie in foreign fields. Since 1885, there has been 103,021 young men, and which includes 103 females, die fighting for this country because they believed that this country was worth fighting for. 103,021. The vast majority of those deaths were under the red ensign and the blue ensign. These flags represent the blood sacrifice of our greatest generation. Both my grandfathers bled under these 2 flags. They saw their brothers in arms drown in their own blood at places like Villers-Bretonneux, Hamel, Pas-de-Calais, Zonnebeek, Tyncott, the Somme, Ypres, Shrapnel Valley, Lone Pine, Lynch Trench. They buried their comrades in some of the 800 cemeteries across 83 countries that are the final resting place of our greatest generation. What do we owe these men? What did they die for? They died so that we may have a better future, and I'm not letting this government throw it away. Alexander Solzhenitsyn said, to destroy a people, you must first sever their roots. Nobody will take away our history. Nobody has the right to dishonour what these flags represent. The third flag we stand with is the Eureka flag. That represents the 27 miners who died standing up against government tyranny and oppression. And that sacrifice brought about the greatest democratic change in Australian political history. We had a golden era of democracy in this country. Mark Twain called it a victory won by a battle lost. That is why we only stand with these three flags. No foreign flags. I'm going to address the other two issues. The main point of this rally is we want an immediate moratorium on immigration. An immediate moratorium on immigration. The greatest lie that has ever been perpetrated upon a people is that diversity is a strength. Because the empirical evidence, the lived experience, and history shows the opposite is the truth. And there may be some confronting things said today. Some of you may not be ready to address it, but at some point you are going to have to, because what is coming is inevitable. The only way out of this situation is nationalism. Every single country that has been forced to embrace mass immigration has become more dangerous. They are prepared to sacrifice their own populations in the name of diversity, inclusion and multiculturalism. Any society, community, nation that has become more multicultural, more race or faith-based has become more dangerous. We see it in Australia every day. Crime in Victoria is at the highest level in recorded history. We see the machete attacks, we see the home invasions, I just want to live in a society where I don't have to worry about my family going to a shopping centre and being the victim of a knife crime or a machete attack. I just want to live in a society where I can go to my bed at night and not be the victim of one of the 22 home invasions a day that is happening now in Victoria. A 1,000% increase since 2016. 22 a day. And yes, we know about the increased crime, the violent crime, but what the government will not tell you about is the increase in sexual offences that are happening in this country, and they are also happening in our ancestral homelands of Europe. For any country with a population of over 10 million people, the 4 countries with the highest incidence of rape are number 1, the UK, number 2, Sweden, number 3, France, number 4, Denmark. This is what they have done. This is what they have done. They have put our people, our females at risk. In England and Wales alone, in 2024, there were 71,667 rapes. And yes, I'm sorry, this is confronting, and it might be too raw. There are 196 rapes a day in England. 196 per day, a 480% increase since 2002. Sweden, Germany, 24 stabbings a day in Germany, increasing every year by 10%. 24 stabbings a day, 56% of those are done by non-German men. Between 2021 and 2023, 75% of the rapes in Germany were done by non-Germans. France, there are 100 rapes a day, a 170% increase in 2016. In Paris in 2023, 77% of the solved rapes were done by men of foreign origin. Do you understand what they're doing to our communities, our homelands? Because the same thing is happening here. The same thing is happening here. The government released their crime statistics quarterly, and I've been speaking about this for years. And I have to adjust my rhetoric every 3 months, because it gets worse every 3 months, every year. It's getting worse and worse. Crime is at the highest levels in recorded history. But what the government won't tell you is that in the 12 months to December 2024, there was a 25% increase in rape in Victoria. 25% increase. This is publicly available information. It's easy to find, but the government are ignoring it. The media are ignoring it. Law enforcement are quiet. Why? Why are they sacrificing our females? A society, a community that will not protect its most vulnerable, its most precious, its females, is a society without honour. And it is up to us to push these people to make the change that we have to come back to the natural order of things. 68% increase in sexual offences against children in 12 months to 2024. There are 15 rapes a day in Victoria. 91% of rape victims are female. 14 women and girls are raped every single day in our state. Direct correlation with the increase in immigration. We know what the problem is. They are destroying our children's future. Mass immigration destroys every single metric that is important to a healthy society. We see it in Victoria. The healthcare system is broken because we bring into Victoria in the 12 months to March 2024, 3,110 new arrivals every single week. 444 a day coming to Victoria. They all use the healthcare system because it's free. So if you're waiting 14 hours in emergency, it's because of mass immigration. And people are dying. 20 people died on ambulance ramping in an 18-month period because they didn't have the capacity, because they overstretched due to mass immigration. 33 people died because the 000 couldn't get ambulances out to their homes. So people are dying because the government pushes infinity migration. We have a 6-year wait for critical elective surgery in this state, longest in our history. And 1,394 people died. That is what they have done. I'm just going to finish with one more statistic, because this is nationwide. We are going the same way as Europe. According to the Australian Bureau of Statistics, their press release, sexual offences have increased in Australia, sexual assault, every year since 2011. Every year. 14% increase, 13% increase, 2021, 11% increase, 2023. A 24% increase in a 2-year period. This is what they have done. Everything is under threat. The education system is broken because of mass immigration. The NAPLAN tests of just this year, in 2024, 30% of Victorian students across the state don't have literacy or numeracy at an acceptable level. 30%. 23% of Australian families don't speak English at home. We have a tribalised society that has lost its social cohesion. This is what immigration does. Human beings are tribal. The financial system is in crisis because of mass immigration. The people who lead us are so incompetent, the only solution is to bring in consumers, which undermines the labour market. Cheap labour. But they're consumers, so they bring them in to avoid a technical recession. Cheap labour is destroying this country, and the unions stood up against it right up until they took it off their platform in the 1960s. The unions have betrayed us because they are allowing cheap labour to come in and take away your children's jobs. Education in crisis, financial crisis, housing crisis. The reason your children will never be able to buy a home unless you have generational wealth is because of mass migration. We see it every day. You go to a house inspection. Who's looking after our people? Who's looking after the founding stock of this country? Nobody is. We need systemic change. If we accept the government demographically replacing the founding stock of this country, what sort of future does that leave for our children? Which gets me to the last point, what is Australian culture and heritage? Australia was settled and built by Europeans. That is just the reality. People will tell you, they will cope and say that we're a nation of immigrants. This country was settled and built by Europeans. Predominantly the Anglo-Saxons, the Anglo-Celts till 1945. After the war we brought in people from the Baltics, the Balkans, the Southern Europeans, the Mediterraneans, the Greeks, Italians. Europeans built this country. We are a European construct. An Australian culture and identity has a unique character, which was forged by the harshness and challenges of this continent. The toughness and the resilience of the founding stock. Yes, we have a unique character, but it's founded in European values and European culture. We are a European people. The people who built this country our ancestral homes are Europe. I have a question to those. The most common narrative I get on immigration, and this is from both sides of politics, it's from the media, it's from the social media influencers. The narrative is that you are welcome to come to this country if you, quote, hold our values. How do we determine who holds our values as a collective? And this is where some of you may start to struggle with the rhetoric. Because per capita and group averages is what defines a society. If you bring in peoples from cultures that cannot and will not assimilate, that commit crime at a higher rate, then you have to adjust your immigration policy to suit that. If you bring in peoples that as a collective, that per capita, that on average are overrepresented in welfare, then you have to make hard decisions about your immigration policy. The year that I was born, according to AI, there were less than 300 million Africans. Today there are 1.5 billion. There are 1.45 billion Indians, 1.42 billion Chinese. If you include the rest of the subcontinent, there are over 5 billion peoples to the north and northwest of us who are not of a European culture, 5,000 million, of which we are bringing millions here. Under Albanese's second term, there will be over 2 million migrants come to this country in 2 terms of government. How do we determine of that 5 billion or that 2 million, which ones hold European values? And that's where you have to start addressing per capita and group averages, because we are watching our country be given away. I want to make something else very clear. The migration policy that has been forced upon us, and every Western nation is suffering the same fate. And it's only countries that were founded by Europeans that have to address this. It was done against the will of the people. You need to understand that. We were never asked. And it started in 1945, when we were one of the first 51 signatories to the UN. The globalisation began then. The Marxist institution that is the UN, that has not introduced one policy that has been to our benefit. They strip away our manufacturing, they give our foreign aid away. Since 1958, when the Menzies government first repealed the dictation test, governments since have either repealed, amended or introduced new migration policy that has left us with an open border. It's a legal open border, but since 1975, anybody can come to this country. It doesn't matter whether your background is from a country where they have the majority of the women have suffered female genital mutilation, or you are from a country that supports Sharia law. You are welcome. We have a legal open border. And look at what they're doing. We are losing our social cohesion. We are losing our civic engagement. We are more divided. There is less trust. We are more dangerous as a society because crime is going up. That is the main metric that all government should be judged on. Civic safety. And the other main thing is whether a society is sustainable in the long term. I am sick to death of governments thinking for a 4-year period. What about 100 years? If we allow ourselves to be demographically replaced, what does it look like for our grandchildren? If we are an absolute minority, and I'm sure many of you here know that people of European descent are currently less than 10% of the global population. By 2100, according to current projections, we'll be less than 4%. What happens when we lose the absolute majority in these countries that our forefathers built? When we don't have the voting rights, how will that look for your grandchildren? We were never asked. So I'm going to talk about solutions quickly. And again, this may be some rhetoric that is quite confronting to many of you, but that under the current system, there is no political solution. I hope for a soft revolution in some form of direct democracy, but under this liberal democracy, we cannot vote our way out of this. So we need to support movements, and I don't care if it's not my movement, find a movement that represents your worldview, and you're going to have to make some sort of sacrifice. I mentioned Edmund Barton, the first Prime Minister. Edmund Barton said that creating a nation requires the will of the people. 124 years later, saving our nation will require the will of the people. It will require a will to power and a willingness to sacrifice. You are going to have to be prepared to sacrifice something, even if it's your time, your energy to educate and motivate. You need to put your resources into it, because the only way out of this is regime change or systemic change to a different form of democracy through constitutional change. And that only happens when what I call, or under the terminology of the French Revolution, when the second estate come on board. We are the third estate. We are the working class. They referred to them in the revolutionary times as the proletariat, the commoners, the peasants. I refer to us as the working class. The working class never brought change unilaterally. It only comes about when we have support of those from the second estate, which is those with money, influence, power. When the people from Victor start to realise that we are part of something greater. This is not about us. This is about the legacy that we leave, because we have a responsibility to those who left us in the greatest country on earth. We have a responsibility to those men and women who lie in foreign fields, who gave their life for this country. So when the second estate, when Victoria Police, when members of the military, when those with money, influence, power, the corporate leaders, when they decide that they've had enough, that there are things more important than their share portfolio or their property portfolio or what sort of car they drive, when they decide that we are part of something bigger, then we will get together and take down the first estate. I'm going to finish with something by the man that I regard as the greatest Irishman to ever live. I have Irish blood on my father's side. A people that fought the British for 753 years. And I'm sure there were times when they were disillusioned, demoralised, but they never gave up. They never gave up, and the battle for Ireland is still not over. Ireland will be free. Erin go, bruh. They are suffering the same problems we are. Padraig Pearse was the leader of the Irish Republican Brotherhood. In 1916, he took the Dublin post office, raised the tricolour and the Republican flag, and held off the British, who were 20,000 for a week. They succumbed to the numbers, and in May 1916, Padraig, his brother Willie, and 13 others were executed. They made the blood sacrifice for their people, for their nation. Padraig wrote a poem called The Rebel. And I believe the last stanza is just as relevant today as it was in 1916. And I say to my people's masters, beware. Beware of the thing that is coming. Beware of the risen people who shall take what you would not give. Did you think to conquer the people, or that law is stronger than life, or than men's desire to be free? We shall try it out with you. Ye that have harried and held, ye that have bullied and bribed, tyrants, hypocrites, liars. And so I say, in October 2025, to those people who see themselves as the political and cultural elites, who believe themselves to be our masters, I say beware of the thing that is coming. Because some people will never accept what they are doing to the country that we love. And some people will never give up. In the words of Padraig Pearse, Shoki Allah, our day will come. Thank you for attending today. Before the next speaker, I'm going to play a song that you will all at least know the chorus. Many of you will know the full verses. If you know this song, at least the chorus, I want to hear full voice this iconic piece of Australian identity, history and culture. Raise your flags, hold your flags with pride, and sing the chorus of this song.
Thank you very much, Matt. That was a wealth of information, and I got to tell you, it produces discussion, conversation that we need to have both at domestic and political levels. But honestly, that much information for me, it's something I've got to learn because I don't remember all the details. Just magnificent. What I will do though is wind it back into that nutshell that Australia must come first. So what do we want? Australia first. When do we want it? Now. What do we want? Australia first. When do we want it? Now. Okay guys, we can do this one more time. Let that sound of your voice out there, because it is your voice. Every single bloody one of you that counts. Let your voice echo off the walls of all of these buildings. What do we want? When do we want it? Now. What do we want? When do we want it? Now. Good on you guys. Our next speaker, thank you. Our next speaker is a family man, a tradie by the name of Tim. Tim, like every probably single one of you, is a working class man. He is a true blue Aussie, and what he wants for our country is because he wants it for the children of today and the children of tomorrow. Handing over. Thank you, Tim.
Thank you.
Aussie, Aussie, Aussie!
Thanks, Matt. Yeah, some awesome stuff. My name's Tim, and like you, I'm just your average Aussie. I pay too much tax, I hate following rules, and yes, I barrack for Collingwood. Now, I wanna ask you, how did we get here? Like, how did it come to this? Right? How did immigration become such a divisive topic rather than a common sense one? Yes, I want to stop immigration, but why should I be labelled as a bad, ignorant fool? Gee, I mean, after listening to Matt, it's common sense. Look, I'm here. Look, I'm here today because I'm thinking of my children and the country they live in's future. I'm here today because I believe this modern mass diversity is not what it is cracked up to be, and it's certainly not what our forefathers envisaged for their future generations. I have raised my family in the eastern suburbs. No, not Canterbury, not Hawthorn, a bit further out. Right. And we have not been affected by crime until last year. Unluckily for my community, some youth, some people that specialise in aggravated burglary tried to gain access to my neighbour's house, and whilst in the process were interrupted and thankfully chose to drive away. Now this really scared my family and the surrounding estate, especially after we did a little bit of research and discovered how violent some of these crimes committed in the Agburgs can be, and also how often they go unreported. Now, I believe my neighbour might have done the same basic research, as he soon sold the car and set up security cameras. And disappointingly, whilst doing this research, I soon learned, like, I was shocked, that I may go to jail. If someone broke into my house while my family slept, and I attacked them, which of course every red-blooded Aussie would, off to jail I potentially go. So I mean, that's how much trouble this country's in. That's how pathetic our leadership is. It's clown world.
Castle law for Australia!
That's it, man. Now, speaking of my family's safety, I worry about my beautiful daughters and how increasingly vulnerable they are out in public. I now know sexual assault has gone up by 55% in a 2-year period. The same period of time that we have been given turbo immigration from all over the world. Goodness knows what some of these societies are like, and yeah, I worry about it. I don't believe I'm being paranoid when I instruct my oldest daughter, always make sure there are people on the same train carriage. Don't catch Ubers by yourself. You know, I'm sure a lot of parents here would agree. Try to watch your drinks and your friends in the nightclub. But unfortunately, they can't watch everything. I can't always be there. It was certainly easier in a high-trust, honourable society. But again, how did it come to this? How did it come to this? Am I paranoid? I think I have a right to be.
Make Australia safe!
Lately, my favourite topic to try and understand is housing affordability. Why do all the experts, the media, the talking heads, why now do they only touch on immigration? But don't have any real opposition against it, bringing more people into this country. Maybe just not 2 million more, like Albanese proposed. Maybe 1.6 million is a better number, they might say. They will not conflate housing supply with housing demand. And I mean, when you undertake a small business course like I have, like many people have, it's in the first chapter if I remember. I think it's titled Supply and Demand. It's that easy, right? If our government is allowing one new arrival to live here every 55 seconds, an average family of 4 would equate to every 4 minutes or a unit must be built. This is 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. We need one new dwelling available every 4 minutes because the demand from immigrants is exceeding the supply of housing. Often these people have government incentives, community help, or existing wealth, which helps them enter the property market immediately. Now the median house price is a whopping $650,000 to $850,000. Personally, I believe it's more. In the short term, yes, that makes people that own their own home or have an existing mortgage feel rich because they've made money, especially the boomers. Sorry, Uncle Bob. But unfortunately, my kids and your kids are going to have to work harder for their deposit. They're going to work longer each week to make the repayments. There goes the big cap gun. Woo! Let them have it. They're going to work weekends. They're going to have less time with their children. They might live further out in a smaller house and all on a 30-year mortgage, and the list goes on. The list goes on, so Australia can be the land of milk and honey offered up for free to the rest of the world. I don't want my children to be debt slave bugs, and nor do I want them in a line that goes around the block with 50 other couples all competing to rent the same overpriced unit. I remember seeing this shit in the third world on television. Again, I ask you, how did we get here? By mismanagement? By design? Corruption? Yeah. Now, I would like to plagiarise someone. Now, I read this a couple of times. I believe it's poignant. Is this an extreme view, or is this common sense? I want you guys to be the judge, right? This is what I read. National identity is particular. Once you universalise it, it ceases to exist. When Britain declares that anyone can be British, it is not being inclusive, it is erasing the very substance of what British once meant. The same moral trick is performed everywhere. In the name of openness, the borders of belonging are dissolved, and you can see it in the slogan, a nation of immigrants, citizens of the world, empty phrases that flatten centuries of lineage. Universalism doesn't expand identity, it annihilates it. And here's the kicker, this is what got me, man. A people cannot be everyone, because to be everyone is to be no one, right? A people cannot be everyone, because to be everyone is to be no one. And that applies to everyone, right? That's it, bro. Yeah, hey. It makes you sad to think. Now, I know my speech is quite bleak and it's a little bit negative, right? However, immigration can be stopped, and we must continue to build momentum. And when the number of Aussies grows showing up to march for Australia, perhaps our voice will become louder, and perhaps we can pressure and force the government to address and stop this madness on behalf of the majority of Australia. Now, here's the conclusion. Here's the kicker, man. See, I'm nostalgic, right? And I know time doesn't stand still. You cannot stop the wheels of change. But I'm increasingly nostalgic because I remember, man. I remember when we called ourselves the lucky country. And man, we believed it. Man, mate, if you couldn't make it in Bayswater or Thomastown to 1/100th of a millimetre, it couldn't be made, right? Our Australian soldiers were Chad super warriors. Our innovation was bragged about around the world. I mean, for goodness sake, an Aussie in Geelong invented refrigeration. Changed the world. We had the toughest boxers, the fastest swimmers, the most skillful tennis players. Mate, if we didn't win the World Spelling Bee, we were pissed. We were still a Christian country, and yeah, we still made cars. We still made them. Bloody good ones. So this is it, man. Let's defend Australian identity and be inspired by what our ancestors have created, defended, and achieved. God bless.
Thank you, mate. I'm just going to explain what's happening for the rest of this event. On the flyer we had 4 speakers, so apologies. You may understand that in Melbourne it's quite difficult to get speakers that in public, considering what the opposition over there do. So the only 2 speakers are myself and Tim. We had others pulled out. I have no problem with those pulling out. I fully understand. What I'm hoping is that going forwards, more people will start to stand up and defend their family, defend their children, defend their country, and become active. I have an announcement from the national organiser who they've asked me to I'll paraphrase here. The next official march for Australia will be on January 26th, Australia Day. And yes, this isn't as big as the 31st, but let's make Australia Day a massive day for Australia. So talk to your friends, talk to your colleagues, bring them down. There are other marches in November. There are other marches in November which March for Australia are not associated with. They don't share our core values. I think that's about it from the organiser. They are just calling for people to get involved. There'll be nothing up to Christmas so people can spend time with their family. Apologies for me reading this out. We have an opportunity to make Australia Day one of the most significant celebrations, and we want January to be the most patriotic month of the year. Many call it Australia Month. So please raise your flag, prepare for Australia Day the rest of today. Now, Victoria Police have advised that it's not safe to march, and when I hear that, I think about what would those men from the 39th Battalion, who were 1,068 young lads from Kew and Hawthorne, who were sent to Papua New Guinea in June 1942 and stopped the Japanese invasion and saved this country in the only time we faced an existential military threat. What would the lads of the 39th have done if they were told it might be too dangerous to walk in our own streets? So we are marching. We are going to Collins. If I'd ask you to please, I want everyone to stay safe. So the trolley and the banner will be at the front, so give us a couple of minutes to get the trolley set up, and there will be gentlemen at the back. We have some gentlemen here floating, so we are just urging you to stay safe. I mentioned the 39th Battalion. 136 of those young lads never returned home. They're buried in Papua. The motto for the 39th is factus non verbis. By deeds, not words. The time for talk is over. And my message to those who are on the internet, who are commentating, who are telling us how bad things are, who offer no solutions, who monetize their content, the grifters, the buy me a coffee, the buy my merch, the time for talk is over. Motivate your friends, get them active, and we will take our countries back.
That could be arranged. Oh, we can do that later. Yeah, nice. Cavity searching. Oh, you've got to laugh, right? What aren't we taking anymore? Well, cavity searches. Yeah, Crazy.
it's not an ice year, but we need to bring it down to long-term average of 67,000 to allow them to go
attitude of today's copper? Probably not, she said. I got a number of the photo. Straight in front of her. I said, I got your number. Have you got on the police report? Probably not.
Activity. Activity.
Thanks for this and the previous March stream. Very entertaining. Smile.
Thanks, Froggy. I didn't realise that text-to-speech was on. That played out loud here. So, I hope Wookie doesn't abuse that. I think the bangs are drums.
Go Aussies! Oh, here we have media. Well done, honey. Aussie, Aussie, Aussie! Aussie, Aussie, Aussie! 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 Aussie, Aussie, Aussie! Wake up, Australia!
That one didn't read out, Wookie. I think it must be the Streamlabs one, not the YouTube super chat.
Oi! 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 Oi!
Oh no, Wookie, it must be because I just saw Froggy did a super chat as well. It must be a certain amount. I don't know how much. I'm just going to assume 5. Oh, I saw you, like it said TTS next to your name, so I thought that it must have been. I don't know.
Just so the last few stragglers come through, I'm going to give a message to the people who sit in this building behind me and the other seats of power at the state level and those who sit in federal parliament. After I've given that message, we're going to play a few songs. It's going to be a fairly short day protest-wise, that's due to the lack of speakers. But I'm really happy with the turnout today. Seeing thousands of these flags has been fantastic, and I thank you very much for coming again. We have to network, we have to educate and motivate those who aren't quite ready yet, because it's inevitable. We will bring change, it's just a matter of how long that takes, and I'm hoping that it's in my time. Thomas Paine said that if there is trouble, let it be in my time, so that my child may live in peace. I've just got a message for those who sit behind me in this seat of power. The damage they've done in the last 50 years will never be forgotten and never be forgiven. The last 5 years has only shown you what they are capable of. They are liars. And they pass off the damage they have done as statistics. Joseph Stalin said that one death is a statistic. Sorry, one death is a tragedy, 1 million deaths is a statistic. They have destroyed businesses, families, children's mental health. They have cost the lives of people. Ashley Gordon was a 32-year-old doctor from Doncaster. Ashley Gordon was stabbed to death by 2 immigrant youths, one of whom was on bail. Ashley Gordon is not a statistic, he is a tragedy. William Taylor was a 28-year-old medical student who was killed by immigrant youths in a stolen car, who was subsequently given bail. William Taylor is not a statistic, he's a tragedy. Declan Cutler was a 16-year-old boy who was targeted in a random attack by 8 immigrant youths, 2 of whom were on bail. He was stabbed to death 56 times. They then went back, stomped on his head and stole his runners. This is what they have done. We want justice because Declan Cutler is not a statistic, he's a tragedy. They have cost lives, they have blood on their hands. Dominic O'Brien was a 60-year-old photographer. He was killed in a random attack by an illegal asylum seeker who the High Court decided it was unlawful to keep criminals in detention, so they released him and he murdered a man. This is what they've done. These people here will face justice. Jacinta Allen, Anthony Albanese, you may see us as the third estate or as the bottom, and we may be at the bottom in your eyes, but we are coming for those at the top. The whole system will be rebuilt. So I can just ask you to please be very careful when you go home. I think the opposition have wandered off, and I want you to, Vic Pol, to note where the violence comes from. I want you to know who loves this country. You are dealing with a death cult. We will not accept their ideology. This here is just the start, guys. This is just the start. I want you to come out on the show today in 3 times the numbers. I want you to talk to your friends, because as I said, we will take this country back. Thank you very much again for coming. Thank you for listening. Have a great day. We're just going to play a few songs, guys, so you can mingle, you can network, you can wander off in your own time. So we'll put some music on and just enjoy the rest of the day.
I said, yeah, I got my finger in a lot of pies.
Don't tell Eva, but I will be going in there after. She's probably asleep. I was just talking to a lady and they removed her streams from TikTok. She was asking me if it's the same. I'm like, nope, the chat's still coming through. Poor lady.
Thank you very much again for coming, guys. We're going to wind it up here. If you can find the intersection, and get the trains come through. Thanks very much. Be careful, one hand shield, guys.
I think the police is moving everyone on now. It's all over. So if you're still watching, please subscribe. There's way better videos on the channel than this. They're edited, they're polished, they're a lot more entertaining. So please do that. Please have a look. Where's the end button? Here it is.